Well, hey there. This is Dr. Chris Grimbliss with Always and Forever Ministries. I just wanted to pass a thought along to you today that may help you in making the most of your marriage. We're excited to pass these thoughts along. We desire our ministry, Always and Forever Ministries, desires to help people secure, build, strengthen their marriages in a way that they receive the blessings of God. So, the question of the day is, what fuels you in your marriage? What fuels you in your marriage? Every marriage faces challenges. Your marriage, my marriage, no different. We all face challenges. We all have bad days. Somewhere along the way, we run into things that just don't seem right. Okay? It's called life. We all live it. Okay? We all get it. Sometimes those challenges, those obstacles, those days can drain our hearts and can drain our minds to the point where we seem to have no fuel left to put into the journey that we call marriage. Okay? It takes drive to overcome these challenges. It takes some fuel to get us going, to go forward. So let me ask you this, in terms of your marriage, what fuels your drive? Well, what should fuel us in our marriage and in life should be the love of Jesus Christ. That should be our fuel. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 14 says, "For the love of Christ constraineth us, because we thus judge that if one died for all, then we're all dead." That first phrase, "for the love of Christ constraineth us," basically means it's God's love that compels us to go forward. It's God's love that can compel us to serve Him. It's God's love that can compel us in our marriage. Unfortunately, in the midst of the challenges that we face, we often forget that that love should be our greatest motivation. Listen, not the human love, not the emotional feel-good stuff, but that love of Christ that compels us, constrains us, motivates us. Instead, what happens is we allow our emotions to run away with us. The stress of what we're handling at the moment can overwhelm us. Getting up on the wrong side of the bed. When those things, when that floods our minds, what comes out of our mouths is not the love that should compel us. Our mind is not in a good place, so therefore our words are not in a good place. Okay? It floods us in a way that love is sort of set on the back burner, set to the side. And what we get instead is an expression of stress, an expression of anger. That's not what God would have for us. The love of Christ should constrain or compel us in our relationship, in our hearts, in our thoughts, in our emotions. Okay? When we allow the love of Christ to constrain us, to compel us, to fuel us, we can do more. When we allow the love of Christ to compel us, to fuel us, we can love more. When we allow the love of Christ to motivate us, to carry us forward, to fuel us, we can overcome more. Love brings us to prayer for our spouse, even when we are caught in the storm, even when our spouse is caught in that storm. Listen, in the middle of His storm, the Lord carried our sins to Calvary's cross. Why? Out of His great love for you and for me. Love was His motivation. Love compelled Him. Love constrained Him. Love fueled Him. That same love, the love of Jesus Christ, can and should do the same for us in our marriage. If we are constrained, if we are compelled, if we are fueled by his love, then we have the fuel to carry us over, carry us past whatever challenges our marriage may face. And we need that kind of love. We need that on a day-to-day basis. So shouldn't we, as we start our day, go to God and say, Lord, I need your love today to fuel me in my relationship with my spouse? What fuels you in your interaction with your spouse? It's the love of Christ that should constrain you. So if you're feeling aggravated, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, then go to God. Say, Lord, I need your love. Your love has got to compel me in my relationship with my spouse today, because all I want to do is love the way that you loved me. And shouldn't that be especially true with the one that we're married to? Will you not let the love of Christ constrain you in your marriage, in your day, in your interactions with your spouse? Hey, it's a whole lot better to live that way than it is to live with the stress, the anger, and the anxiety. Let the love of Christ constrain you the way that it should. Listen, it was the Apostle Paul who penned those words for God. And you know, the Apostle Paul went through beatings, he went through shipwrecks, he went through jail, he all left for dead, all of it, and the love of Christ still constrained him. As bad as it is in your marriage, you have not gone through what Paul went through. So allow God to have his love constrain you. Beg God, ask God to let his love constrain you in your relationship with your spouse today. Listen, it's a great way to motivate your marriage to even greater heights. What fuels you? It should be the love of Christ. Hopefully, this has been a help and a blessing to you. I know it's been brief, but it's an important principle. Let God's love fuel your relationship with your marriage, with your spouse. It'll help you. It'll help you every day that you get up and say, God, would you help your love to fuel me and compel me today? Well, we hope this has been just a moment for you that will help you in making the most of your marriage. This is Chris Grimbliss. You can read more at alwaysforeverministries.org. We'd love to be a help and a blessing to you any way that we could. Go out there today, have an always and forever marriage on purpose.